Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of The Hummingbird Project. First of all, look at this adorable USB that we got at the screening tonight. What a fun little promo item. So obviously, maybe if I can get it. The tail comes apart and there's the USB. So I just love when they get inventive with these little promo items, and this one is quite cute. And completely matches the theme of the film, both with the technology and the hummingbird. Also, y'all know how I am with my themes, with my films. I don't know if you could tell, but these are little hummingbirds all over my shirt. Honestly, I had next to no idea what this film was actually about. I knew very little. I knew who the stars were going in, and that was pretty much it. And a lot of times when that's the case, honestly, I like to go in without looking at a trailer, without reading up on the film. I just want to go in fresh. Because it's so rare these days that you get to walk into a film knowing virtually nothing about it. So all I knew was wear the hummingbird shirt. Let's see what this is about. Well, it's certainly not about hummingbirds. They are lightly referenced a couple of times throughout the film, and thus the title came. But instead, this is about high frequency trading. All about technology, about laying pipe into the ground to create high frequency trading. Sounds like a blast, right? So how did the film turn out to be? Honestly, I would probably describe this as a constantly watchable mess. So let's go ahead and talk about the positives first. Well, the biggest positive is the acting. In particular, Alexander Skarsgård is fantastic in this film. This is unlike I've ever seen Skarsgård in anything I've ever seen him before, and he was so good. He completely transformed into this character, past just the prosthetic and the makeup, the fat suit, all of that stuff. He shined through, created a real person, and completely lost himself in this character. I thought he was so good, and constantly he was the best thing happening on screen. No matter what else was going on, he was the highlight of the film. But credit to Jesse Eisenberg as well. Now, on the surface, this is very much a very typical Jesse Eisenberg character. We've seen him play this type of role in pretty much every film he's ever been in at this point. But he plays this a lot. He could easily play this snarky, smart guy, like, in his sleep. But I thought he brought a lot of compassion to this role. There are some layers in which he really gets to push through and shine through, more so than just being sarcastic a-hole the whole time. It worked, and I really credit him for elevating above what you expect when it comes to a Jesse Eisenberg performance. Yes, it is a lot of the same, but it's those tender moments, or those moments where he really lets the vulnerability of the character shine through, that really elevate this from the rest of his filmography. Salma Hayek is also in this film. She is definitely just kind of having fun with the role. Hers is not nearly as serious of a role, but it's so great to see her, and she is rocking that gray hair, let me tell you right now. She kills it. She is so funny and so fun. She pretty much steals every scene she's in, so there's that. Plus, it's pretty awesome to see so many intelligent women across the board, and then to have women of color being experts and bosses every which way. So it was really cool to see her character in particular not just be a villain, but be a really competent, smart businesswoman who had the upper hand. And as I said in my introduction, it's always watchable. And part of that is because it's pretty funny. There's a lot of comedy in this film. There's a lot of physical comedy, actually. And a lot of it lands. Of course, there are several big swings that completely miss. But there are several big swings that get an audible laugh out of the audience. When this film is at its comedic best, it's great. It's really sophisticated, really smart comedy injected. In general, when this script is hitting, it is very intelligent and a very smart subject with a script that does it complete justice when it's hitting. That's the key here. And honestly, that's the key with this film. The biggest negative starts us off with the fact that tonally, this is a complete mess. We are all over the board. As I was watching this film, I kept trying to figure out, what was it going for? What was the direction? Is this a dark comedy? Because that's as close to kind of a subgenre as I could understand with this film. It was a serious topic, there was a serious issue here, but it was interjected with just so many over-the-top comedic moments just blurted into there that it felt like a genuine dark comedy through most of it. However, it also tries to inject these super dramatic, serious moments into the film. There is this moral dilemma happening throughout the film that just like pops its head up, that one, we don't know if the characters are honestly feeling or it's just the filmmaker's point of view. And then two, it culminates near the end with a very tonally confusing direction. And I'm probably sounding pretty confusing right now as well, but that's just because the tone of this film was literally all over the place, and it was really hard to connect with the material. I also really thought that the score didn't help. I did not like this score, actually, at all. It was very hokey sounding. It was pretty comedic overall in tone, but it didn't feel self-aware that that's what it was doing. And that's the problem with the film, is I don't know if it was really aware of what it was doing for a good part of the runtime. And then we had moments of very strange artistic flexing that I wasn't a fan of. We got really weird slow motion shots in which we were looking at something very inconsequential or unneeded. Other moments we got slow motion and you understood a little bit more with time and how we were playing with time throughout the entire narrative. It worked, but we went back and forth so frequently between random shots of random things to something that kind of reflects and brings home the point of time and this whole hummingbird metaphor. But by throwing so many rando type of slow-mo shots or like artsy looking shots into there, it made all of them feel a little less intentional. So overall, this was just a very strange watch for me. I laughed quite a bit. I didn't know where to put my allegiances in the film. I didn't know how really I was meant to be. I never really knew how to feel about what it was I was watching. And that would all be its own thing if only it ever felt intentional. If only the film felt like it had more of a direction, more of a direct purpose. And that's really where the Hummingbird Project falls flat for me and ends up being a less than satisfactory watch. So for a recommendation, it's certainly entertaining enough. There are certainly laughs in here that break up the monotony of kind of a drawn out concept and a really boring premise, if we're being honest. But it's hard to leave feeling anything other than unsatisfied because it's just such a tonal mess. So I would give the Hummingbird Project a rental. Definitely don't need to pay theater prices to see this one, but there is enough good in there to check it out at your own convenience and a cheaper price point. So that is my review of the Hummingbird Project. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see the Hummingbird Project? Or have you even heard of this one? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!